Imagine waking up in a world where no one has ever spoken a single word. No names, no stories, no questions, just silence. Around 300,000 years ago, our ancestors already looked remarkably human. They made tools, hunted together, and survived in a dangerous world. But scientists still debate one fascinating question: what was happening inside their minds before language existed? We may never know the exact answer. Thoughts don't fossilize. Words leave no bones. But the human brain leaves clues. Archaeologists have discovered carefully shaped stone tools that are over 2 million years old. Creating one wasn't random. It required planning, patience, and imagination. Long before writing existed, someone had already pictured the finished tool inside their mind. That changes everything. Maybe the first thoughts weren't sentences. Maybe they were images. Imagine spotting a mammoth across an open field. You don't need the word mammoth. You only need to recognize danger. Your brain notices its enormous size, its curved tusks, the direction it's moving. In a fraction of a second, your body already knows what to do: run, hide, or prepare to hunt. Even today, your brain works the same way. When you recognize a familiar face, you don't silently describe every detail to yourself. You simply know who it is. Much of human thinking still happens without words. Modern neuroscience suggests that the brain often processes visual information before language ever enters the picture. In other words may have arrived late to a conversation the brain was already having. But survival demanded more than recognizing animals. Early humans had to remember rivers that disappeared with the seasons, safe caves, dangerous cliffs, fruit that could be eaten, plants that could kill. Every successful hunt added another picture to the mind. Every mistake became a memory worth keeping. Those memories were more valuable than gold, because forgetting even one could mean death. Over thousands of generations, those mental pictures became richer, more detailed, more connected, and somewhere along the way, something extraordinary began to happen. Those pictures stopped being only memories. They became ideas. Once ideas could be shared, humanity changed forever. No one knows exactly when the first true words were spoken. Some scientists believe language developed gradually over hundreds of thousands of years. Others think it accelerated as human societies became larger and more complex. But everyone agrees on one thing: language transformed our species. A hunt no longer had to rely on pointing and gestures. One person could describe tomorrow's plan. A parent could warn a child about a hidden danger. Knowledge no longer disappeared with the people who discovered it. It could be passed on, generation after generation. That single change may have become humanity's greatest superpower. But here's the surprising part: language never replaced the older way of thinking. It simply built on top of it. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine an apple. You probably didn't spell the word apple inside your head. You saw it, its shape, its color, maybe even its taste. That's because your brain still thinks in pictures before it finds the words. The oldest parts of your mind are still with you. Every time you recognize a face in a crowd, catch a ball without calculating its path, or instinctively step away from danger, you're using systems that existed long before language. In a way, every modern conversation rests on millions of years of silent thinking. The voices in our heads are ancient minds wearing a new tool. So the next time you pause to think, remember that your thoughts are built on foundations laid by ancestors who never spoke a single sentence. Their world was quieter, more dangerous, and yet their minds were already creating the ideas that would eventually build cities, write books, explore space, and ask questions about where we came from. Perhaps the greatest invention wasn't language itself. It was the imagination that existed before language ever arrived. Because before humanity learned how to speak, it first had to learn how to think. If you enjoyed exploring one of the oldest mysteries of the human mind, you'll probably enjoy my previous documentary, Why Time Feels Faster Every Year. It explores another strange trick of the brain, and by the end, you'll never think about time the same way again. Until next time, keep asking questions. Sometimes the oldest mysteries are hiding inside your own mind.